Hello guys, welcome back. This is Limeth Gaming as always, and today basically I'm going to go over two clips that happened during my Warframe stream that happened on Saturday past. Clip number one is self-explanatory, and I'll cover clip number two whenever it gets there.
Can I kick this? Oh, I can kick it too! Oh. Why is your Equinox glitching the fuck out? Your Equinox is glitching the fuck out! Oh fuck! Oh Jesus!
And as for clip number two, basically this was a debate between me and two of my friends, basically the two people that I was streaming with. But there was one issue. One of my friend's settings on the stream didn't work, so he can't be heard. But basically, he was the middleman in this debate between me and the other fellow that you can hear. And basically, long story short, while playing Warframe, we had a debate about Souls-like titles. Now, anybody who knows what a Souls-like game is, you know what I'm on about. Anybody who doesn't, you're going to figure it out. But basically, this debate takes a while, and I hope you enjoy. And if I'm wrong in anything I say, please feel free to devour me in the comments.
Oh, aye, so do I. But there's one thing there is one thing I must say though, and it's a game that I will be covering in great detail on my channel. Revenant from the Ashes, by I'm sorry, but that is such an underlier of a game, by. Oh, hello again.
I'll be honest, I gave Remnant from the Ashes a go. I did give it a go.
How far did you get?
Not far.
Then you didn't give it a go.
I did. No, I did.
Oh yes! Oh, I'm the luckiest bastard on the planet. I got a lucky guess.
I bet.
Yeah, oh, I don't have a third relic fucking equipped either, man. I am fucking raging.
Ow.
Oh, anyway, well, here, it adds more to my murmurs. I'm happy. Because that there means all I have to do is pick up one more set of murmurs, by, and that's me, I'm good. Job done. Plus, it's extra cool. Unless he steals some.
Was he doing a little dance? Was he doing a little dance as he teleported away that glitch?
I'm sorry, but everybody complains about heavy gunners and bombards. I'm sorry, everybody complains about heavy gunners and bombards whenever the real problem is the fucking Noxus.
Oh, they're not a problem in the mat.
Yeah, but my point still stands. There's still a problem.
That and if you don't break their helmet. Yeah. If you break the helmet, then they're more or less fucked.
But no, I'm loving. This Ignis is fucking overkill. Yeah.
But anyway, Mark.
Yes.
To continue just on the topic of Remnant from the Ashes.
Oh, you know, like I'm not even joking now, right? How far did you beat the first world?
Well, I haven't beat the first. I haven't beat the first world, but it's not that I wouldn't go so far as to say I hate it. I just don't feel very motivated to play it.
No, trust me. See if you got in and played it. I'm actually not joking. It's one game that I'm gonna start repeatedly playing because it is just for it scratches the Dark Souls itch. So it does.
Well, I fundamentally disagree on people calling it gun souls. I fundamentally disagree.
I don't. Now I don't know why you take such a sort of hatred towards it, but
no, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Aye, but it's such a disinterest in it. I can't say anything because I've played Lords of the Fallen, Heavy Souls, or Sluggish Souls. I've played Surge.
Funky souls.
Well, that I'm not going to deny that's entirely fair. So I'm not going to deny the fact that that's entirely fair. But
Our enemy rebuilds itself ceaselessly.
I give it a try. It's just like I don't know. I'm very 50-50 on it. To be honest, I'm iffy on it.
But then again, what I'm going to say is you're 50-50 iffy on it. But where does your issue lie?
It's not. There's no real issue. There's no real issue. I don't really have an issue with it. It's just.
No, I'd say if you see, I'd say.
I've not really felt like trying it. That's just
But it's because you haven't got to the point.
I don't have an issue with the game. It's that I don't have an issue with the game. I've the whole Dark Souls comment I made. It's just like people are saying, oh, it's Gun Souls or something like that, and I'm like, this is nothing like Dark Souls. It is nothing like Dark Souls at all.
Right? No, hang on. No, now I'm gonna pick a bone. Matt, do you want to take a whack at what your lich or your lich is at? No, now I'm gonna pick a bone with you. Why do you not think it's Dark Souls? Or why would you not compare it to Dark Souls?
The only comparable thing it has with Dark Souls is the teleportation thing.
Wrong.
Like the whole save point. That's the only comparable thing I see.
Wrong. Right, what?
Souls like.
But
I agree.
But it can't. But there's no other. I agree. Yes, but the problem is. Yeah, I agree. But yes.
Yeah.
But the problem is that is the title that it's given. For now, until a new title is given. Unfortunately, there's no other. But it means something to me because whenever I say right, so you got Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and then you've got Bloodborne and Sekiro, right? There's one fundamental thing that have all of them in common. They have the same skeleton.
What?
You upgrade your weapons. Correct. Correct, right? Now, as you say, masked into one game, the only thing that changes is the skin that's on the bones. But in the fundamental state of things, yes, it's a Souls-like game because they are all borrowing and trying to change the same mechanical features that Souls has. So
Well,
in sticking with that, what you said?
Well, you're saying about you can upgrade your weapons. All right, so right, hold on. I'm gonna ask you this. What are the attributes that define a Souls-like game to you?
What are the attributes that defines a Souls-like game to me?
Yeah,
What defines a Souls-like game?
What are the attributes?
Right, my attributes are as follows. Right,
Okay.
has to have the same principles. Difficult.
What principles?
Difficult, but rewarding. So yes, the game will kick your ass from here to Timbuktu, but you learn from your mistakes and you move on with it. You get past it and you succeed and win. And every boss in Remnant ticks that box off. Every single boss. There may only, alright, and I'm not saying this nicely, right? There may only be about 1 or 2, maybe 3 bosses in Remnant that are hands down cheap. But then again, Dark Souls is not innocent whenever it comes to that as well. Exactly.
It has had its fair.
So Remnant from the Ashes cannot be damned for that, right?
No.
Next, right? So that there's the difficulty plus rewarding, right? Now to get into the nitty gritty in terms of mechanics, yes, it uses the same. It's basically the bonfire system. Yes, it uses it. It uses the same system from it wouldn't be Dark Souls 1, it'd be Dark Soul or Demon's Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne. It has the same premise to that there. You have a hub world where you do your upgrading, right? Next to that, right, so it works off the same premise. You open up new areas as you progress through the game. Again, same premise as Dark Souls, right? Next out there, obviously you've got your upgrading of weapons, have your boss weapons, and you have mods. Now, mods are different, but basically it's a reward from the boss, right? What do you get from Dark Souls? You kill a boss, you get their soul, you craft it into a weapon. It becomes a boss weapon. So it
And you
does.
have and you have that same thing in Remnant.
And you have that exact same thing in Remnant. You get rewarded for the boss you kill.
Fair enough.
Right? You find weapons and equipment while you're out on your travels. Grand. Now, the difference whenever it comes to 11, you don't have stats, you have traits. Right? But they work the same way, only it's more focused, right? Whereas the traits are more focused on a single thing, whereas Dark Souls is based on your stats. That would be the only key difference whenever it comes to a fundamental level. After that, you have now, and what I'm going to put out is a really big one, is Remnant from the Ashes is an RNG game, as in it is procedurally generated per area. The bosses are procedurally generated. It is basically the bosses per level is chosen from a pool of bosses that you can discover in that level. So you're never going to have the same interaction twice, unless you replay it consistently. Then yes, you will get it. But as said, all good. The upgrading of weapons and armor. You upgrade your weapons to do more damage. You upgrade your armor to make sure that you survive. Dark Souls in a nutshell. The reason why Remnant from the Ashes comes under the name of a Souls title, or under the Soulsborne style of gameplay, is because it does fit in. The only thing they really do change is the fact that you're shifting from a melee weapon to a ranged weapon. But no, it holds the same core aspects of Dark Souls and what we come to enjoy from the game. It holds them in abundance. And that is why I would still, regardless if it's guns or not, it is still in my eyes. It comes under the Souls-like genre. And yes, I know people don't like the fact that they call it the Souls-like genre. It's like, what are you gonna do? A difficult game that can be beaten with persistence and skill. That's not gonna ring any bells.
No, but I understand where Matt's coming from. It stems from that whole frenzy way back when, where it was like companies were all basically like, or well, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you're part of it. I think you were referring to how like there was the whole frenzy of companies who were like, oh, let's make games like Dark Souls.
Yes, and 99.9 of them fucking failed. Yes, but that there for me.
Actually, can I just?
Yeah.
You killed 13.
I got nuked immediately.
You killed 13 liches. That's what you've done. Anyway, no, I'll actually just see Matt. Just as you mentioned about advertising. And I was telling Matt about this. I was watching one of Markiplier's videos, and essentially what happened was, so basically he went into this horror game, and it looked relatively interesting for a starter. And he was reading through like the actual, the actual introduction like text to the game.
Yes.
And basically the game creator basically went, oh, the warning, this game is incredibly difficult. Think of it as the Dark Souls of survival horror, and I immediately switched off. Yeah, but still, I don't really like it. It's a general thing with me. If anything describes itself as, oh, it's the Dark Souls of this, I just immediately switch off because I don't.
But you switch off because you've developed this. I hate to put it this way. You've developed a negative stigma to it, because whenever I think about it, you look back.
It was a good looking game. It was a good looking game. It was just coming out of that. At the time, it was just that thing of I was just sick and tired of everyone saying the Dark Souls of this. The Dark
Aye,
Souls.
I understand that there, but the
Oh my God, guys! It's just like Dark Souls.
aye,
You know,
but the one thing you need to
like,
remember is because it's said like that there, you immediately condemn the game. Whenever you say that there, you immediately condemn the game, even though you might thoroughly enjoy it. But you, because of what you have done, you have practically outright condemned that game because they have referenced any form of Dark Souls. So you will condemn any game that says Dark Souls in it. Like I can say Call of Duty's best gun game, oh, referenced by Dark Souls, and you'll condemn the game. Or
well,
some.
I don't like Call of Duty. Well, I don't like Call of Duty anymore anyway.
Aye, but you get my idea. It wouldn't matter. Oh, how about a racing game? Aye, but I got the. Then I'd condemn the fucking game. But no, but you get me. You get my point.
Yes, I see. I see the point. Yeah, I see the point. Magnetic.
I fucked up.
I vote magnetic. Because we must suck our enemies into black holes.
Yes, but that's what my point is the fact that you're condemning a game.
I see your point. I see your point.
And that's what I don't like. Yes, there is a very, very, very specific. I have a very specific set of, call them bullet points, that you have to follow for you to be able to say it's a Souls-like game. You have to.
No, it's not the fact that it said it's a Souls-like game. It says they said it's the Dark Souls of horror games.
Aye, sure, well, right, right.
As a way to emphasize its difficulty, and I'm just saying, why not just say it's a difficult game?
Aye, but the thing is, right?
I don't hate something because it has.
Well, right, how about this here, right? Instead of saying it's the Dark Souls of horror games. No, right, let's do this then.
It's not.
I'm listening to what you're saying, but I want to test something.
No, go for it.
Right, I want to test something.
You go first.
Because, right, you say it's the Dark Souls of horror games, like it's a good thing, right? What if it dubbed it as Horror Souls?
No. Well, then I don't fucking know. I know a channel who would do that, but he does it to take the piss out of journalists saying.
Yes, but if they called it Horror Souls, you wouldn't have as much of a gripe with it. But it's because it's because of the way, because we hold Dark Souls in such a regard, because we hold Dark Souls as such a perfect game. Well, sorry, not perfect, but.
What do you mean I wouldn't have a gripe with it? I would. That would actually.
You would have a gripe with them calling it Horror Souls.
A little bit, maybe. I don't
Aye,
know,
but you wouldn't have but your gripe wouldn't be as big if they said that there instead of saying this is the horror equivalent to Dark Souls, or this is.
No, it's not. They didn't say it's. There's no aspect. To me, it didn't look like there was any aspect of the game that looked remotely like Dark Souls. It's the point of they use the phrase "it's the Dark Souls of horror games" to emphasize its difficulty.
But then again, technically it's a fair statement due to the fact that how hard Dark Souls is.
Well, it's not that
well,
hard, it's not that difficult now, but you know. Well, alright. We're used to it, yes.
Exactly. If I went.
That came out wrong. If
I went down the Klein, grabbed a random smuck off the side and brought him in. And go, right, here, play Dark Souls.
Sorry, that came out wrong.
It's we're used to it.
We're used to it.
But so from a realistic standpoint, yes. Whenever you say it's no harm, it's a scare tactic. So it is, because you're saying this game is as difficult as Dark Souls, only with horror.
No, I don't view that as a scare tactic. I just view that as you're just being fucking stupid.
But you're a Dark Souls gamer.
I am a Dark Souls gamer. Sure.
There you go. Your argument is completely invalid because you think Dark Souls is easy.
I don't think it's a scare tactic. I think it's
no, but it's a scare tactic for people who haven't played Dark Souls.
For fuck's sake.
So it's a scare tactic.
What has happened to this conversation?
It's a scare tactic
What?
it's a scare tactic
I
that's
don't
used.
know. I don't know what anything is anymore.
Yes, I agree, but
I agree with that. I agree with
yes,
that.
but
I agree.
my defense to that there is yes, Matt is working on a way to rename it, but as
Yeah,
it will sit,
that's challenging though.
yes, but as it will sit, the name Souls-like is a reference of a game's style and difficulty. Remember
However,
that.
in light of this conversation, however, I do see your points, the points that you have made. In light of this conversation,
Good. This is why people don't argue with me.
I'm sorry, Mark, but this is actually. I just realized this has been the longest time you and me have actually had a proper debate. Right.
Yeah, but then again, at the end of the day, it's been that long since I've been talking to you.
Oh yeah, fair. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
But no, there's like as it sits, until a new name is given, it is a phrase that people are common with that
I
revolves
do
around the
agree.
style of the game and how hard it is going to be.
I
That
just
there's
realized Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
that there's why whenever you right, for example, if we look at what's going on, well, Xander Ark, how you doing? If we look at how games developed, right? So you had Demon Souls first, which was the underdog. It was a game that went under the radar for so long until
You reckon it was an underdog?
it was, because it went under the radar for so long because of how difficult it was. Very few people remember what Demon's Souls was like pre-patch. They made the same patch to Dark Souls. So they did, where they brought down the difficulty. And everybody remembers that. I remember whenever Dark Souls was at its hardest.
See, that's one thing I will admit. That's one thing that annoyed me because I didn't actually get to experience, Ornstein and Smo at their actual.
Ornstein insta-killed you the minute you walked through the door.
I didn't get to experience Ornstein and Smo in their prime, which really pissed me off. So.
Exactly, but there's my point. As soon as you walk through the door, Ornstein one-shot you.
Also, I just realized I actually became the very thing I hate. When I said Dark Souls was not hard, I realized I became the very thing I hated.
But that's where you see, whenever you said that is whenever you lost every argument.
I actually do genuinely want to apologize for that.
But you realize the thing is you realized your mistake.
Yeah.
And you backtracked on it, but because you realized your mistake, because you made the mistake, and then you had to backtrack on it, that's why you lost the argument.
It ultimately fell every single one of my arguments.
Correct, but back to the standing point.
Yeah, back to the standing point. Yeah.
I agree with Matt whenever he says. I agree with Matt whenever they take Souls-like out of context.
Yeah.
I don't like people taking it out of context.
I think that's the point I was trying to get, is that I hate it when people take it out of context.
Yes, because Souls-like is two very simple things. The bones are the same, and I already explained what the bones were. Mechanically. And the difficulty.
Yeah.
Right? They were the two things that Soulsborne is born off of. But then if you look at the breed of games that came out afterwards, you had Lords of the Fallen, Clunky Souls.
Yeah, Death's Gambit. Yeah, I don't know if you played Death's Gambit, but
Death's Gambit, but again, it was a 2D side scroller where you found items, you leveled up. It's the same as Sultan Sanctuary.
Which I actually need to get back to, by the way. I actually need to get back to Sultan Sanctuary, so I do.
Yes, but they're all Souls-like titles because they all consist of the same bones.
And Hollow Knight, don't forget Hollow Knight.
And Hollow Knight. But it's back to where this entire argument kicked off at, Remnant from the Ashes.
Yeah.
Remnant from the Ashes, fundamentally at its base game, is Gun Souls. It's the same as Lords of the Fallen is Clunky Souls. The Surge 1 and 2 are Robot Souls. Fuck a duck.
Was it not called Sci-Fi Souls?
Or Sci-Fi Souls, sorry. Sci-fi Souls.
Mark, did you play Code Vein?
Code Vein. Anime Souls. But at the end of the day, they all consist of the exact same fundamentals.
Same skeleton.
They have the same skeleton and they are difficult, but they are not so difficult that you cannot surpass with either grind or skill or understanding. That's fair. My point. But they all come under the exact same umbrella, Souls-like. As I said, I do agree with Matt. He doesn't like the term Souls-like. Personally, I don't mind the term Souls-like because it's a term of endearment. It's a compliment to the game.
Honestly, I'm indifferent, but I understand where Matt's coming from.
Yes, me and Matt have two different views on that.
Yo.
So we do.
About
the term Souls-like.
About the term Souls-like.
But as I was explaining, Souls-like is good when used properly, bad when used improperly. The reason why I say it's good as whenever it's used properly is because Souls-like is simply two definitions. You know the game that you're about to play, because if you've played Dark Souls, you know the term Souls, right? So you know it's going to be a similar styling of game, similar mechanics, similar playstyle. And then you have the reason why, and then on top of there you have the difficulty. But it's a difficulty that's not too difficult that you can't beat the game, but it's difficult enough where you're going to get actually some sense of reward out of it. So you are. So Souls-like used properly in terms of you have Remnant from the Ashes, which is Gun Souls. You have Lords of the Fallen, which is what I said, Clunky Souls. You have the Surge.
Clunky Souls.
You've got the Surge 1 and 2, which are both Sci-fi Souls. The way that but they are all under the one umbrella of Souls-like, and the person who stands on the top of that umbrella is Dark Souls. They created it. Yeah. Right. Where are we going to so I can stop my rambling and get back to mass genocide?